Hello guys, you're watching me, Nikki, you also known as Faces Trader. It's July 10, 2020. It's already Friday, and you are watching the Awesome 10 Next channel. Kwa kinayahin, actually, yahin si Uyo Bikok Tadit Juan Yong La. Kaso Philippine to Bo Yong. I said that I was actually a bit dizzy because the US market was so strong. However, the Philippines isn't really translating most of that strength in US in the Philippines. So just to start this off, let's see what happened in the market. Let's go to your statistics. Okay, for those listeners, of course, we are going to give you global market updates and local market updates. Tansi po. Shami. So I mean, you know that gold has been strong for the last couple of days now, and then if you look at the long-term chart of gold, this is actually a breakout. Sorry, this is a breakout from about 1.8, and then when you look at the bigger term chart, this is going to about $2,400 for your gold. See, so that prior resistance at 1.9 is your first resistance, but this 1.8 area, which has been 10 years in the making, has already broken out. So with that strength in your gold, we took a look and measured how high it can go. The measurement is from about 1.9 to as low as 1,000. So that's a 900 move. So you're looking at somewhere from about 1.9 plus 900 or 2.8 move. Although in my view, even 2004 would be significant already. So from about 2.4 to 2.8, you're looking at about an upside of about 30% to as much as 50% in the next couple of maybe 3 to 5 years. Now, what's going to be the stock names that would move in the Philippines in terms of that gold play? Teka lang guys, nagle-load ang aking PC. Bagal as usual. Sandali lang. Hindi naman ako na StreamYard out. Okay, sige. Okay, so let's go to your stats. Load, please. Yes, we trade the world. And actually, mas active talaga sa mundo. While my computer is loading, I want to share to you that later on in our 5:30 p.m. class, inaanyayahan po namin kayo, guncha din bekay siya ko, bitiwa buwe TikTok and Grab katwa discount July 10, 2020. How do you buy Grab and TikTok at huge discounts? So watch me 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. My Twitter account is @businesstrader. Our website is awesome10x.com. Top gainers for the day, you could see that index-wise, your top traded with a gain is actually your GMA7. It's 6 pesos right now, up 5%. So a lot of people are assuming that the renewal of franchise happening, which will benefit your GMA7. Similarly, your SM Prime is up 4%, rallying from 30 peso 50 cents to 31.9. That's 2.8 shares. Your FGen is 24, now it's 25, 17 shares traded. Sorry, not shares, 1,700 trades. Meralco is 270 to 278. JG Sum. So usually, like if a stock is trading huge with activity, that's the most important gainers for the day. While it's loading, bagal pa, it's still loading. So while it's loading, let's review a few things that happened for the day. Of course, that was already known. Cebu Pacific, the Ayala land REITs, you can see it, PSEI, the very first listing in Philippines. So for those who aren't aware, REIT means Real Estate Investment Trust. So it acts similar to a bond such that you can get 90% of the dividends, the rental income of these real estate investments, so that you can of course participate and benefit from that rental. Now, currently, of course, we are aware that in the real estate space, the most prized assets are actually what you call the warehouse leasing portfolio. The industrial leasing portfolio, because right now in this agent in our time, the biggest and most resilient growth is coming from the e-commerce space. Any company, especially abroad, when you're a real estate investment trust that is more that has very stable tenants. Of course, if your tenant is somebody like an Amazon or a Zalora in the Philippines, or a Lazada or a Shopee in the Philippines, those are likely to become stronger in the next 10 years, such that it is actually beneficial for that sector to grow. Companies in the Philippines that are catering to that sector. This is the huge growth sector wave. The warehouse leasing. For that, you must study Philinvest Land, who's very much doing the logistics and the leasing part for those industrial states. They do it in New Clark City. But let's read this news for Ayala Land. Okay, so Ayala Land is, of course, the largest property giant in the Philippines. In its July meeting, they have approved 1.09 billion common shares. It's going to trade under the main board. Your ticker symbol is AREIT. So this is a way for the companies to reinvest their money, so they can get their investments back. Because if you can imagine, Ayala Land could spend about 40 billion sometimes in those property developments, and it will take them maybe 7 years just to recover that 40 billion peso back. So once they list, they can actually get at least 15 billion pesos here, so they can reinvest that 15 billion pesos capex and make you their shareholder, a partner in their shares. Typically, in the REIT department, they can only list if they have 3 years worth of profits. So Ayala Land is a profitable company. They definitely have rentals to share to you. And so they are gonna REITs. The SEC will offer these securities, and then it's gonna have up to 48 million common shares and up to 409 million existing shares for an over-allotment at 30 pesos. Ayala Land REIT may run the public offering from July 27 to 31, debuting on August 7, based on the SEC approval. So what are the assets inside the Ayala REIT? It's going to be the Ayala North Exchange, which is 2 office towers. You've got 23 service apartment brands branded as Seda Residences Makati. So the first tower is a 12-story headquarter type, while the second tower is a 20-story PEZA of about 95,554.35 square meters. So will the REIT dividend be different every year? So it depends on the rental income. If the rental income this year is a billion, 90% of a billion is 900 million dividends. If next year's rental is 1.1 billion pesos, then 90% of 1.1 billion pesos is going to be distributed out to you. Now, if next year's rental is 50% down, which is, let's say, 500 million, then your rental dividends is also down 50%. So that's how you should think about it. Now, the other 2 property assets that will be infused is the Solaris one, the McKinley Exchange. You can read that. BPI is serving as the global coordinator for this maiden share sale. Typically, the REIT is a good thing. It allows the companies to list, allowing developers. So this is what I'm saying. Developers can recycle that capital for further property development and expansion initiatives. So basically, if they build a building, at least in the first 3 years, if it's already profitable, they can already list it as a REIT kasi 3 profitable operations dapat. So within the last it's good that the government has addressed this framework so that the financial markets can now benefit from this terrific product. the REITs are actually one of the best products that happened this happened in Hong Kong, in Singapore. So I'm happy to actually announce to Filipinos that we finally have the very first REIT, and Ayala Land is a good company to start that REIT investment going on. Okay, so let's see. Okay, most active. Okay, so you could see naman, it's very clearly in the red. You've got Ayala Land, 32.95, now it's 32 pesos, down 2%. But honestly, this is not a bad thing. The Ayala Land REIT is not actually a bad thing to Ayala Land. This actually helps Ayala Land more. But maybe some investors of Ayala Land don't have money, and they feel that the predictability of this Ayala Land REIT is a great thing. So it's likely that some people might want to sell a few of their Ayala Land shares so that they can buy Ayala Land REIT. Nevertheless, if you as a person would like to purchase Ayala Land and Ayala Land REIT, both are good, okay? Both are good. SM 945 is now 940. BDO is down 1%. Now it's 94.7. As you can see, the whole board of the Philippines is mostly in the red. What are the greens? Pure gold is good, up 2%, now 47.75. That's a good thing. It's now trying to hit that 48 peso mark. And if it breaks that 7-year 48 peso mark, we might see pure gold finally reach 50 to 55. So let's see whether pure gold can handle that. There's a toppish resistance at 50. We need more volume, but the 200 million peso value traded today for pure gold is not bad. Now, what are the rest? Okay, stable guys, Meralco 278. You've seen probably Globe stable lang, 2076. Your PLDT is stable. It's just trading at 1350. And then the rest are just stable, no? Okay, so GMA is the strongest, I say, from a return perspective, up 5%. The rest are just really languishing. So up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3, up 1, down 1, typically unchanged. So when you look at your index, this is what you see. For the last 2 days, the Philippines has basically been neglected, as in nobody was looking at the Philippines. China was so hot, US is so hot, the Philippines is not. It's cold. Philippines has market value for abroad with a lot of foreign. The Philippines will never have to, the Philippines really, what is the problem caused in the Philippines? We don't have exciting companies to lure the foreigners to come to us. Unlike US, which has like a snowflake, the IPO is coming out, Palantir is coming out. In the Philippines, the only IPOs that we are coming out, at least I'm happy that we are coming out with Converge IPO and this Ayala Land REIT. So it's possible that these two IPOs or upcoming happenings in the Philippines will generate some interest, not just from locals, but also abroad. But definitely, the locals are the local market today. The slew of menu of offerings that we are giving is not attractive for the global market. The foreigners think that, what do you have for me? And if you just have with if you only have medyo boring companies like traditional banks, traditional malls, traditional consumer names, they're not interested with that because they want telecom. When you're talking about telecom, they're talking about the edge compute. So Fastly went something like $11 to $100 in the USA. So they want fast 5G connections, e-commerce solutions, fintech solutions, and I don't see it here. Philippines continues to languish. Unless we have something good to offer them, we will not be able to go to 7,000 without something to offer them. What could ignite the market higher would be, well, you have to really show some profits and earnings. And if all of our malls have a difficulty, it's gonna just be stable, flat growth, if ever. So you don't see much happening in the Philippines. So losers are abundant, very few winners. Nevertheless, let's see. What is the news that is gonna, what's happening? So the REIT is a good thing. I saw in the news, Tina Arcea Dumlao said that that the government is shifting to distance learning due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Knowledge Channel is ready to share its video lessons that would reach as many as 7.6 million students, a huge portion of the 27 million expected to enroll this school year. So if you think about it, okay, so that's a good thing. The more people can watch Knowledge Channel, at least it will help them. Definitely, what you could see is that broadband connectivity is very important in the Philippines, such that, let's see, obviously in the Philippines, we have to invest for the future, not for the past. Yes, there are cash cows in the Philippines, but let's analyze the Philippines from a 1 week, 1 month perspective. Watch list, even in your all, di ba? Okay, so pasensya. See, this is something that the Philippines has to invest upon. The infrastructure for broadband connectivity. Kasi ang bagal. Kaya dapat meron tayong mga nililist na mga converge para bumilis-bilis, di ba? Ang bagal eh, oh. Can you imagine? Ganito yung araw-araw na trahedya ko in the day. Hirap magtrabaho. Productivity problems. Teka lang. Bagal eh. Sorry, ang bagal. Hindi ko na ma-take. But anyway, so gold. Sa gold, yes, APX is a stock that you wanna watch. And then you wanna watch, ay nako. Sige na nga, PSEI man lang. Pakita mo nga sa akin PSEI. Si PLDT natin, okay naman siya. So kahit mabagal ang aking internet connection, requirement yan for every company at every whatever it may be. So whether shopping sila online or they're conducting their business online, which is very much needed today, you could see that very strongly 1177 is your new support, and your prior resistance of 13 is now your new support. So that is your higher low, higher low. Now, where will PLDT go from here? Pwede yan mag 1450, pwede pa yan mag 1550. The more necessary the broadband connection of most Filipinos are, this has a huge growth. And if you look at our PLDT analysis, the first quarter report of PLDT has shown 70%, 100% growth that in the broadband broadband connectivity, such that you want to actually study whether you should own a winner in your portfolio. Definitely, PLDT is a winner that you can own for your portfolio. So those who have it at 1177, 1313, continue to hold your winners because any drops here would be supported by buyers. Now, for Globe is strong. Habang naglalanguish yan sa 2,000, take the opportunity to buy low and then sell it high near 2223. So medyo patience. Look what happened to Pure Gold. We said na patience lang, guys, because stable naman yan. You have that supermarket. After falling to 44, now it's 47. You might see it some resistance at 50. But if that 50 peso mark breaks out, then it can go to 56. And I never changed my mind. I still think that Pure Gold is very cheap, very undervalued, such that you can also check Costco. Costco has had volume past few days. This is a volume. The earnings are there. It's likely that at 5 to 527, people are actually taking a look to actually purchase Costco for the entity that owns Pure Gold. Half of a Pure Gold is owned by Costco. Ano pa to? So let's see. So your Manila Water went up for the week. Let's see your casinos. How's your casinos? People ask me as well, Jollibee. Let me answer that. So for Manila Water, it's steady at 14. I still think kaya mag 15, 16. Mura siya. So any drops near 13 should be taken advantage of. Now, Jollibee, why do you want to be bullish and bearish at the same time? So Jollibee is a neutral name. You want to be bullish because Jollibee has a lot of money and cash. Now, you might wonder, how did Jollibee have a lot of cash? Well, they got $600 million recently from a successful global bond offering, wherein I think a 5.5-year note was trading out with only about 4% yield, meaning they were able, like anywhere from 3.5% to 4% coupon. So Jollibee with cheap financing can handle this next 3-5 years of the crisis in good terms with the banks. It's easy for them to continue to grow, and they will be able to handle all the layoffs, all the sales. They can handle that, any sales decline. So the bad thing about Jollibee's, of course, you and I both know, obviously, that the restaurants as a sector is having a harsh time. It's not just for Jollibee having a harsh time. This is true all over the world, whether it be for your McDonald's abroad, your Starbucks abroad. It is true all over the world. With the consumption of the people, the GDP is having a hard time. We are seeing that your consumers is having this very clear buy low, sell high resistance range. Buy near 110, sell 150, buy near 110, sell 150. Can it go 110? Maybe that is your question. Maybe it doesn't fall 110, but maybe it falls somewhere at 120 or 130. Such that you want to ladder again into your position. So I heard some people, Nikki, what does ladder mean? Ladder to who means basement 1, 130 buy. Ladder 2 basement 2 downward, and then sell your positions upward. Meaning you can buy at 130, even 135. See, that's how you make money. Ladder in, ladder out. Scale in, scale out. Okay, so maybe you're wondering, Nikki, what can I do with the casino space? Okay, Bloomberry has been your leader, but at 8 pesos, it seems that some people are wishing to sell first their Bloomberry after a very strong run up from 4 to 8. So chart-wise, people are asking me, Nikki, when will I buy Bloomberry? Well, you can actually buy, if you want the best risk-reward, the best risk-reward happens if you can buy it near 6. However, I don't know if it will fall there. So maybe you want to buy near 720, then buy again at 650. Because sometimes, winners will never retest. This is what you have to understand. Winners do not retest. Winners just go higher and higher and higher. Granted, the Philippines doesn't have super winners, but winners will not go down back to 4. Like, I don't expect Bloomberry to go down to 4 unless there's news to share about Bloomberry with a disastrous result. You need some news to make it fall there. Now, what are the companies that have done well in terms of earnings? So, of course, All Home. So any drops of All Home will be a good thing, guys. What's happening on your Nickel Asia? The good thing about Nickel Asia is it is riding the secular trend. The secular trend of electrics, your batteries, all of these vehicles will need lithium ion, and batteries lithium ion has nickel inside. Therefore, Nickel Asia can actually produce that nickel for these Chinese operators, these miners, these Chinese people would buy from Nickel Asia, which will actually give them profits. At the end of the day, you need to buy a company that will give you profits, not losses. So, Nickel Asia would have supports here at 180 or $2. I'd say your resistance is still at about 240, 280. Okay, how about gold? As long as you can produce a gold bar, the market will follow. Does Apex have gold? If they can produce gold and gold is gonna expect to rise to 4, then it's likely that Apex will recover and have good earnings somehow. Any drops of this near 125 is a good thing because, as you could see, the volume has been picking up. People are seeing what we are seeing. And I think that it can go to 150 to 170. What else? Okay, so people are saying, Nikki, kamusta naman yung mga Petron at oil companies? So all of these are called dinosaurs. They are dinosaurs because in the future, you will be using electric cars. However, that future in the Philippines might be 10 years from now. So if your horizon is somewhere like within a year or 2 years, hindi ka pa magpapalit ng Toyota mo or ng Honda mo, hindi ka pa makakabili unlike sa China and sa US or sa Europe na meron na. So what's gonna happen here, I think, is that Shell would be languishing near 18. Some people would buy, and then any rallies to 20, 21, 22 will be sold. So it's not a strong mover, but as you could see, Petron moved up naman. From 2, umangat ng 3. So yon, ito nag-rally, but Shell did not. Okay, ano pa bang umangat sa Pilipinas? Wala, hindi na to gumalaw. My watch list. So, I mean, in the Philippines, ito tingnan natin from a 3-month perspective, price performance, watch list, PSEI, ay nako, 146 na. Pasensya po guys, tatapusin ko ito ng mabilis. Week to date change. But yeah, to be honest, I can understand the pain of Filipinos, and that is being seen in your stock markets. Nevertheless, I'm happy to share to you na hindi naman lahat talunan. So all home has a good earnings. PLDT has good earnings. I expect Nickel Asia to have good earnings. Casinos are not doing well, but Bloomberry has money enough to handle those bad times. In fact, their first 2 months, they reported 1.4 billion pesos. Ano ba yung mga nag-good earnings? PLDT, Globe, Pure Gold, okay siya. People are of course aware that Meralco and Manila Water will have good earnings since you're staying at home. Nag-spike pa yung mga bills nyo. The banks have money. So right now, the bullish case for the Philippines is that the valuations are cheap, but there's no growth. So far, if you want growth, yes, there are a few winners here. We saw Call Financial, I forgot to share. So Call Financial benefits from more slowly, they are trading the Philippines. So you could see that ito, very obvious to. Call Financial from March from 15 nag-21, that's a 50% move. Because kahit walang volume yan, it's apparent to some people that Call Financial you should expect that Call Financial would have very beautiful earnings this coming season. So the more people open accounts, the more Call Financial benefits. When you open an account, you're probably buying and selling. So it's actually beneficial for Call Financial. Will it benefit your brokerage firms? Yes, but the biggest brokerage firm in the Philippines is Call Financial. BDO already owns BDO Nomura. They bought that. And I think maybe in the future, BDO might want to pursue increasing their brokerage services. But for now, the leader is number 1 for Call Financial. That also underpins my reason why BDO, wag kayong umiyak, 95 na lang, baka bumili kayo 8. Chill lang kayo, guys. BDO has money. Yes, it could fall near 90. I'm not saying that it's impossible. But any drops here at about 86 or 90 should be seen more as an opportunity. Buy low, sell high, ladder into your positions as it goes down, ladder out, scale out as it goes higher. So as Metro Bank falls 36 or 35, you have to buy low and then you need to sell high. That's how you make money in this market. Ayala Corp and SM do the same thing. These guys have money, same for JG Summit. As AC goes down near 720, you know that Ayala Corp owns your Ayala land. It will benefit from that Ayala REITs. Ayala Corp will have money to deploy. So that's a good thing for the company. And ACPH here is doing okay. From a renewable energy standpoint, watch that space. Now, Sun City, I think I kept on discussing, if you want casinos, this is a backdoor for your Sun City. So it rallied to 150, went back down to 130. Anytime it falls near 120 to 130, you can pick it up. Every time it rallies, you sell, or you wait for it to go higher. So that's it for your Philippines. Just ask your questions, and hopefully I see you later, 5:30 p.m. Let's discuss some global winners, and let me now start my global market update. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.